Episodes 3, 4, and 5 were pretty good despite some flaws here and there in each of them. Episode 3 is where we learned that Maya was in tune with nature and could speak with animals. So in the episode, Maya on TerraVenture, she hears these animals crying out, and these animals are crying out on another planet, like they're locked up in cages, and she wants to go save them. So the Rangers go to this planet, and they find out that these animals are being held captive by Scorpius's minions. So the Rangers fight these minions, and then they save the animals, and after that, the animals tell Maya in raw speak that they're thankful that the Rangers saved them, and one day they will return the favor. Well, it wasn't even a day, because in the same episode, those Galactic Beasts appeared on TerraVenture and helped the Rangers defeat this Lobster Elvis monster. Yeah, I love that monster though. He was hilarious. Oh, and when that monster appeared with Furio on TerraVenture and was attacking the colony, like, that was awesome, man. I love that sequence. Like all those building explosions, and then the GSA soldiers started to attack them, but it wasn't working, and then the Power Rangers had to show up to save the day. Like, I love that. It was awesome. In episode 4, the Rangers fight a monster whose specialty is stealing powerful magical weapons. So the monster tries and succeeds in stealing the Quasar Sabers, but the Rangers eventually get them back, and they destroy the monster, and they also take some powerful weapons from the monster, and these weapons were the trans daggers. And I really like these weapons. Like, they could be used as daggers, and they could also be used as blasters and bows. Like, I really like those weapons. They were cool. And in episode 5, the Rangers used the trans daggers to give the Galactic Beasts more power, and they turned the Galactic Beasts into Galactic Zords, and then they formed the Galaxy Megazord, and they defeated the monster of the day in that episode. Like, I really do like this concept. Like, these beasts, these living, gigantic beasts, and then they turn them into Zords, and then they can form a Megazord. Like, I don't know, I thought the concept was cool. The Galactic Beasts themselves, they looked ugly. Like, they looked hideous. Let's be real, they were ugly. But the concept, I like the idea behind it, okay? Episode 6 is where Lost Galaxy begins its Lights of Orion arc. Oh God, the Lights of Orion arc. Man. This arc has to be one of the worst written arcs in Power Rangers, and if you've seen it, then you already know why. Like, so much of it does not make sense, like, at all. Alright, so in episode 6, Furio has failed in 5 episodes to get the Quasar Sabers. So in order to keep Scorpius from killing him, he decides to get another powerful item, the Lights of Orion. And get this, the Lights of Orion have been sealed in a cave for thousands of years, and this cave is on TerraVenture. Yes, TerraVenture, the newly man-made spaceship, has a cave that's thousands of years old and has the Lights of Orion in it. No explanation of why this is. It's just there. Like, are you serious? How do you even write something like this and not realize the clear contradiction? I don't even understand. It just infuriates me. It infuriates me the most because episode 6 is actually really good. The only thing that ruins it is the Lights of Orion. Like, it has this whole storyline with Furio having this monster shapeshift to look like Mike and trick Leo to thinking that Mike was still alive, and playing with Leo's emotions and tricking Leo into going into the cave and getting the Lights of Orion. Like, all of that was really good. It's just the storyline behind the Lights of Orion that's the bad thing, and unfortunately the storyline behind the Lights of Orion is so important that it just messes up everything else. There is a fan theory to explain why the Lights of Orion were on TerraVenture, and it's that when TerraVenture was constructed, it took like a bunch of land from the Earth and they put it in the ship. Yep, they literally scooped up mountains and oceans and put it in TerraVenture. Honestly, I can buy this theory, and I really do. I believe in it, actually. That's my theory for how the Lights of Orion ended up on Terra Venture, that they took a bunch of landscapes from the Earth and just put it on Terra Venture. Why not? It's Power Rangers. Hell, they do a lot of strange shit. But the problem is, I just wish they would have explained it. The writers would have explained it themselves in the show. I mean, so we wouldn't have to come up with cockamamie fan theories. So, but it just makes me think. I don't expect Super Megaforce to do this, but if they do a Lost Galaxy tribute episode, I would like for like one of the old school Rangers to come in there and be like, oh yes, we were on a space colony, Terra Venture, and it borrowed like a lot of, you know, land from the Earth or something, or they had, or the Earth government had helped building the spaceship from KO-35, and they took a lot of land from other planets and gave it to us. I don't know, something. Like, I think that would be cool, but of course, I don't expect them to do that, but a man can dream, alright? So, after episode 6, the Rangers and the villains spend a lot of episodes looking for the Lights of Orion on Terra Venture, because apparently the lights are hiding on the ship somewhere. And the villains thought that the lights were hiding in an ordinary camera in one episode. The villains thought they were hiding in a sunflower statue in one episode. It was this art. Oh my god. Really, I remember as a kid that I didn't enjoy Lost Galaxy that much in the early episodes. I mean, it's not like they were bad. It's just that I just, you know, they wasn't good enough to hold my attention that much until episode 9, the Magna Defender. In this episode, a new character appears called the Magna Defender, and really, I just thought he was so cool. Like, he just came in with this badass attitude, and I work alone. I'm trying to destroy Scorpius. Like, you know, I really liked him, man. Oh, and Furio destroyed himself. It doesn't matter. Furio wasn't that interesting of a character. And we got a replacement general for him anyway, known as Tretron, and he was much more interesting, and he had a cool backstory with the Magna Defender that they explained in episode 9. So, 3,000 years ago, the Magna Defender released the Lights of Orion, and Tretron was sent to destroy the Magna Defender, and at his weakened state, Tretron got the best of the Magna Defender. So Tretron blasted him in a hole in the ground, and he fell through there, and he was down there for 3,000 years, and he just recently found the strength to escape. Yeah, I really enjoyed that as a kid, but watching it now, it's like there's so many problems with this. So the first thing is that the Magna Defender had the Lights of Orion 3,000 years ago. So, in the next episode, episode 10, we learned some startling information about the Magna Defender. So after having the information that we learned in episode 10, we come back to this, and then you're thinking like, wait, why would you let the Lights of Orion go once you, like, what? Okay, just to say it, like, in episode 10, we learned that Scorpius killed the Magna Defender's son. So it's like, after Scorpius killed your son, you're going to let the Lights of Orion go? And then you talking about you were at your weakened state. So you're weak, and you're going to let the Lights of Orion go? One of the most powerful objects in the universe? What? And then the dialogue said that Tretron blasted the Magna Defender into a hole in the earth. Now, in later episodes, we learn more information. So in order for this to make sense, this couldn't possibly be the earth. It has to be Miranoi. So, again, this dialogue, man, oh my god, like, doesn't really make sense. But in later episodes, they kind of changed it. I think they said he just blasted them into a hole in, like, the crevice or something. They don't say earth anymore. And besides, I think they mean earth as ground more than earth as the planet. So it's like, I let it slide. But still, though, it's like, choose your words more carefully, writers. I don't know. It still doesn't explain why he had the Lights of Orion and then let them go when you would think you would be at your most angriest. You think you would be the angriest at that point. You know, why would you let them go? And now you're here and you're stopping at nothing to get the Lights of Orion on Terra Venture. It's just, but whatever, man. I remember as a kid, I loved that episode, so that love is still in my heart, so I still respect episode 9. Episode 9 is when I started to become a fan of Lost Galaxy, so shit. And I love how at the end of episode 9, how the Magna Defender talked to the Rangers. Like, Kendrick is like, we're all fighting for the same thing, right? And he's like, you have no idea what I'm fighting for. You don't know me at all. Yeah. I love the Magna Defender. Like, he would fight with anybody. He was just the anti-hero. He would fight with the monsters. He'd fight with the Rangers. I loved him. Episode 10 is pretty much where Lost Galaxy started to get his shit together. It's where the writing started to get better. It was just getting better. In the episode, like I said, we learned the backstory of the Magna Defender, like more of it. We learned that Scorpius attacked his home planet years ago and destroyed it. And then we learned that Scorpius killed his son, of course. So that's the, man, that's some really powerful stuff, man. It's some really powerful stuff. So that's why he wants the Lights of Orion, and that's why he really wants to destroy Scorpius. And he's so fixated on hatred and rage that he doesn't care about anything else. And in the episode it showed it. He doesn't care about innocent civilians getting hurt. He doesn't care about nothing. He just wants to destroy Scorpius and his monsters. And the Rangers, you know, they're trying their best to get through them, but, you know, so far it's not really working. But episode 10, even though I talk about the stupid sunflower statue stuff, is a really good episode. I love it. I love that episode. Oh, and at the end of episode 10, I love how Leo and the Magna Defender were talking. Like, Leo's like, I know that you're angry, but you need to get a hold of it, you know. And Magna Defender's like, you have no idea what you're talking about. Like, Scorpius killed my son, you know, and stuff like that. And then they found out, oh, shit, you know. But I like what Leo said at the end. He was like, I understand how you feel, but you can't let that hatred consume you. You'll be as bad as them. I like that he said, I know how you feel, because he actually does know how the Magna Defender feels, because he lost his brother. You know, usually, you know, you see this, like, people, when somebody is going through a hard time, or they lost somebody, and then they're like, I know how you feel, but they may not have actually lost somebody before. Like, Leo is saying it, and he actually does know how he feels, so that really does that. As much as I love episode 11, Silent Sleep, with that jellyfish monster, I'm going to skip talking about it. I'm just going to go towards episodes 12 and 13, Orion Arising and Orion Returns, because those two episodes made me love Lost Galaxy. Like, after those two episodes, I was hooked on this season, man. Like, as crappy as this Lights of Orion arc started off, like, it finished so strong. So strong. Like, episode 12 is entertaining enough because the two girl rangers, Kendrick and Maya, they're having, you know, a petty little argument. Kendrick baked the cake for Damon's birthday, and Maya ate the cake because she didn't know it was for Damon's birthday, and she didn't really understand why this was so special, because they don't celebrate birthdays on her home planet. So yeah, they were having this argument about that. And then we have this monster, Destructo, who creates an energy field around like half of the city dome in order to look for the Lights of Orion. And the girl rangers are trapped inside the dome, and the guy rangers are outside of it, and they're trying to get in. And they also found out that the energy field is sucking out all of the air inside the dome, so they won't be able to breathe in there soon. Oh man, this episode is great. And Destructo, the monster, I love that monster. That is one of my favorite monsters in all of Power Rangers. I'm serious, I love that monster. It's like a big red samurai, and it was so strong and awesome. Just kicked the Rangers' ass. Like, that episode had such good action in it. And then the Magna Defender formed his Zord, and he was trying to break the energy field in half, which would have destroyed the whole colony to break it open that forcefully. And the other Rangers had to get their Galactic Beast and fight him. Like, this shit was awesome. And then the Magna Defender started to have a heart attack. Well, like, he started to have this pain in his chest, and it knocked him out of his Zord mode, and he had to go. Like, it was great. So yeah, and the Destructo had like his. I always thought it was a girl, but they kept calling him a him. So the Destructo's a him. So the monster, he had his like staff inside like the ground in Terra Venture, and the staff was trying to like find the Lights of Orion and like, I guess, suck it up through the staff. And at the end, the Lights of Orion came up through the staff, and the girl rangers managed to destroy the source of the force field, so they broke the force field, and then all the rangers went to confront Destructo, and then the Lights of Orion showed up, and then everybody was trying to chase them, and then the Lights of Orion left the ship. And then the next episode, Orion Returned, the Lights of Orion returned, and Maya was the first one to sense them, and then the rangers get into their jet jammers? Yeah, jet jammers. I forgot to mention them. They got them in episode 5. They are basically like the galaxy gliders and in space except they sit in them. So they were flying in the jet jammers, and that shit was awesome. I love seeing that as a kid, seeing them fly in space. And the Scorpion Stinger, you know, the villain spaceship, was also after the Lights of Orion. Like, so the jet jammers flew past the Scorpion Stinger, and then they released the Stingwingers, you know, out in space, and the Rangers had to blast them. Like, that shit was awesome. And then the Lights of Orion went back to Terra Venture, so the Rangers had to go back, and then the Struxo was fighting the Rangers there and kicked all the Rangers' ass, and then the Struxo used like this magic jar and sucked the Lights of Orion inside. Like, also, Trakina, who is Scorpius' daughter, is pissed with Trecheron at this point in the season, and she's jealous that he has so much of her father's favor, and she's worried that once Trecheron's monster, who is the Struxo, gets the Lights of Orion, that Scorpius will award Trecheron with more power and give him more control over the army and stuff, and she doesn't want that to happen. So she has this shape-shifting monster turn into Trecheron, and then she has fake Trecheron talk to the Struxo and tell the Struxo to absorb the Lights of Orion, claiming that Scorpius wants the monster to test them out before he gets them. So yeah, the Struxo absorbs the Lights of Orion into himself and then uses that power to terrorize Terra Venture. Scorpius sees this, and then he thinks that Trecheron has betrayed him, so he orders that Trecheron be locked up. So yeah, eventually the Magna Defender attacks the Struxo and manages to force the Lights of Orion out of the Struxo's body. Then he tries to get the lights, but the Rangers stand in his way because they feel that the Magna Defender is so consumed with rage that he will destroy anything that gets in his way. He will destroy Scorpius and the Rangers. The Rangers threaten to destroy the Lights of Orion, but before they do, the lights start to shine over the Rangers. Since the lights can only be used by good, they choose the Rangers to use them. And then the Rangers are granted the power of the lights, and they use that power to destroy the Struxo once and for all. And then the Magna Defender just gives up because he realizes that the lights are lost to him forever. Episode 14, Shark Attack. Trecheron learns that Trakina is responsible for making him look like a traitor in Scorpius' eyes, so he escapes his imprisonment, and with the help of two monsters known as the Shark Brothers, he goes to Terra Venture. He tricks Trakina into going to Terra Venture, and then he tries to kill her. It was awesome, man. She had her Stingwingers with her, and she was like, well, go on, attack him. And Trecheron was like, I eat Stingwingers for breakfast. And he beat the crap out of them. And then he tried to kill her, and then the Rangers show up and start attacking Trecheron and the Shark Brothers, and then Trakina runs away. And then the Magna Defender jumps out and tries to kill Trakina, like, for vengeance purposes. Your cold-blooded father took Zika, my only son, from me. Now I would take his only daughter from him. Like, oh, shit. And I remember as a kid, like, I really didn't want Magna Defender to kill her. Like, she looks mostly human, so I think that's what got me. Like, even if, you know, she's a part of the bad guys and her dad is the current ruler of evil and all, like, she looks human. And, like, the way he was going to kill her was like, you know, stabbing a human being. So kid me was like, don't do it. Please don't do it. And he started having a heart attack again. So apparently his heart wouldn't let him do it either. So he dropped it. The pain was too much for him, so he dropped his weapon and fell to the ground. And Trakina ran away at that point. So as the pain in the Magna Defender's chest is killing him, we start to hear Mike's voice. It's like, you know, don't seek vengeance, seek only the good. So, yeah, interesting. Ooh, mystery. Whatever. Meanwhile, like, Leo also hears this voice while he's fighting Trecheron, and then Trecheron ends up delivering this terrible blow on Leo, and it actually injures him. But Leo eventually gets over it, and he fights Trecheron again in the episode, and he finishes him off by himself. And then the Shark Brothers grow giant size. The Rangers call the Galactic Zords. They form the Galaxy Megazord, and then they use the Lights of Orion to power it up. So, and really, the Galaxy Megazord with the Lights of Orion, like, I love how it looks. Like, I always thought the Galaxy Megazord was kind of ugly without it, but when it's in its power-up mode, I loved it. With the golden spikes and shit, I love that. So, yeah. With the power-up mode, they finished off the Shark Brothers quickly. Also in the episode, we learned that the Power Rangers can only use the Lights of Orion when all 5 of them are together, since the power was split between the 5 of them. So, yeah. Okay, episode 15, Redemption Day. Oh, another episode that I just love so much. So, the scorpion stinger is running out of energy. It's leaking fuel. So they go to a place that has a lot of energy. Terraventure. So the scorpion stinger attacks Terraventure, and then it taps into the energy source of the ship and starts draining it. The Rangers realize that, if he keeps draining it, Terraventure will be out of power in a few hours. The Magna Defender realizes that Scorpius is attacking Terraventure, so he calls his Zord, the Zord, and he combines with it to form his Megazord. And then he tries to use his energy to create a meltdown, and I think it was the Mountain Dome. He tries to use energy to create a meltdown. And Alpha realized this. He told the Rangers about it, and he said that if the Magna Defender succeeds in what he's doing, he'll destroy Scorpius and Terraventure. So of course the Rangers have to stop him. So the Rangers get into their Megazord, they try to stop the Magna Defender, but shock of all shocks, his own Zord stops Magna Defender. Yes, the Zord threw the Magna Defender out of him. And it was freaking awesome. And then he just walked away, and Magna Defender's like, oh, betrayed by my own Zord. And then Scorpius sends a monster out, the Freaky Tiki, to kill the Magna Defender once and for all. Then Leo jumps in and saves them and gets the weakened Magna Defender out of the way while the other Rangers fight Freaky Tiki. So yeah, Leo and the Magna Defender are trying to run to a safe spot. Then the Stingwingers show up and start attacking them, and that action sequence was fucking awesome, man. And then the Magna Defender sees like how much the Red Ranger's trying to fight to protect them, and he was kind of like surprised by it. So after Leo defeated all the Stingwingers, like the Magna Defender's like, all this fighting for goodness is futile. Your brother was the same way. Leo was like, what? You knew my brother? Yes, I know your brother very well. And then he goes through the whole story again, like when Tretron blasted me into the crevice, I laid down there for 3,000 years and I thought I'd never get out. Then one day the crevice opened again and your brother fell in. So yeah. Magna Defender used his sword to catch Mike before he crashed into the ground and went splat all over the place. And then the Magna Defender, this sneaky son of a bitch, used Mike's energy, like he stole his soul and life force and put it inside of him and used that power to escape. So yeah, and the Magna Defender said, your brother is still alive inside me, and the only way to save him is to destroy the Magna Defender. And I love this part because the Magna Defender was like, here, I'll make it easy for you. She pulled out so like, you can call it self-defense. I like, oh my God. But Leo, he's a good person at heart. He can be a hothead at times, but he's a good person at heart. And he says like, I can't kill you. Like, I won't destroy you, and neither would Mike. And he walked away, and the Magna Defender was like, I used to have honor like him. And then he started having a flashback to his son, and when they were happy, and then he thought about when his son died again. I don't know, the Magna Defender, he was starting to come around. He was starting to remember how good he used to be. So yeah, Leo joined the other Rangers, and then they destroyed Freaky Tiki. But then that meltdown energy that the Magna Defender had started in the Mountain Dome was going crazy. It was just spewing fire like everywhere. And the Rangers were trying to stop it, but they failed. And then the Magna Defender showed up and he said, only I can stop this energy. And then he tries to go stop it. The Rangers wanted to go with him, but the Magna Defender threw his sword to the ground, and that sword created an energy field around the Rangers to keep them from doing anything. And then the Magna Defender, in his final moments, he finally let go of all that anger and all that hatred, and he became a hero again, and he sacrificed himself to save that whole colony. He used all of his life force to get rid of all that energy he had created. So yeah, the space colony was saved, and then Mike was alive again, and Leo and Mike hugged out, and yeah, that was the end of the first half of Lost Galaxy, and it was really good.